All right, so if you are here for the first time and you don't know who I am, so my name is Dr. Althea Jones. Woohoo! I'm still celebrating that. It ain't been but a week, 2 weeks almost. But I'm not only a doctor, I am also an author. I'm an author who writes faith-based books. I write children books and faith-based books. And my writing journey started back when I was a little girl in middle school. I drafted my first book when I was in middle school. I began to write a romance novel after I broke up with this guy in high school. I wanted to take that experience. I wanted to share it with young girls, and I wanted to teach them that having a boyfriend at that young age wasn't something that was going to necessarily fulfill them or make them whole and happy. And so, just to share a little bit more about that romance novel that I wanted to write at that time changed after I started going to church and I learned about witnessing for Christ, sharing the gospel, telling other people about Jesus Christ. And so it was pretty much like the beginning of my journey, a journey that I really didn't know that was going to be a long-term journey or a part of purpose and God's will for my life. And if you did not know, being an author is one expression to share the gospel of Jesus Christ, okay? And through my writings, I share faith. I share faith in different ways, from children's books to teenage books. I create curriculums, journals, children's books, faith-based books, reflective books, coloring books, you name it, right? So as an author, I use my gift to express Jesus in various ways. And so I started out for a long time, for quite a few years. I first published my first book in 2018. That's when I first published Winning Souls for Christ, a guide for teens and young adults. And when I first published that book, I had my book signing. There were people who came at that time when I was going to church. There were people who came. There were people who supported me at that time. But of course, after that, things began to decline and go downhill. I wasn't seeing any sales coming in. But I never gave up. I never gave up in believing that what God gave me was something that he wanted to use. I never gave up on believing that that one book that I had at that time was meant to reach millions, was meant to reach more than what it had reached. And I never stopped praying about that. And so later in 2020, I then revised that book, and not only revised that book, but I created a Counting My Blessings journal. I wrote and published my first children's book, I Can Because I Am. And from there, listen, my library, my bookstore was created. My bookstore is Purpose Writings. And it is where I house my faith-based literature, as well as some of my clients' faith-based literature. But most importantly, I house the faith-based literature that I write as an author. And so through my bookstore, I share and write and upload my writings. And so what I'm going to do today, I am going to share my newest writing. So with those titles that I just shared, right? I was at 7 books I was stuck at 7 books for, I think like 2 years. It was 2 years. I was stuck at 7 books. And in 2025, between 2025 and 2026, I have gone from 7 books to almost 60 books. And at first, when I first started, I wasn't editing and formatting my material. Someone else was. But God taught me how to do it. He led me into what to do. He gave me directions on how to learn. And I began in 2025 editing, formatting, and self-publishing my own books, my own materials. And I am just so excited that today I get to share and express that I have written almost 60 books, y'all. And I'm getting ready to show y'all and unbox this big old box so that you can see what is possible when you believe. This is what success looks like. When you don't give up and when you keep believing and when you believe in what you have been given, this is what success can look like. It doesn't look like stress. It doesn't look like worrying. You may not know the answers. You may not know how it's going to happen. You may not, you may have been given a vision, but like God, I don't know how this is gonna be, right? But I'm gonna show you. I'm one example, y'all. I'm just one example. Okay, but let me show you. Again, I went from an author of 7 books to an author of almost 60. Not only that, I have my very first faith-based romance novel series. My very first romance novel series. I'm gonna show you. This is book 1. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Healthy Close series. This is book 1. Hold on, don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere, don't go nowhere. Oh, this is book 2, I'm sorry. This book 2. This book 2. And this is book 1. Oh my gosh. This is book 1. This is part 3. Oh my gosh. This is the sequel. Whew, Lord have mercy. This is part 5. Y'all, I'm crying because all things are possible. All things are possible. In my eyes. This is book 4. And these are not even it. This is just the Held You Close series. Okay? Again, this is the first one. This is part 2. Whew, we're part 3. I ain't even got part 3 over here. Whew, Lord have mercy. God is just so awesome to me, okay? And let me tell you something. This is part 6. Whew, Lord have mercy. I don't even think part 3 came yet. But this is major. It is major for me. And I'm like, I don't even know if I want to show y'all the rest. This is major. The journey. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The twins. Another book in the twin series. This is what hard work look like, y'all. This is what dedication look like. This is what behind the scenes look like. And you know, this is my very first children's book. My very first children's book. And guess what? It don't stop there, because look at here. My next children's book. I can because I'm chosen. Look at this. It doesn't stop, y'all. It doesn't stop there. Let me show y'all what else I've been working on. Let me show you, prayer and survival mode. That was still it. And then safety. Woo-hoo! Safety. All things are possible when you remain focused. When you remain focused. Stay dedicated. I'm speaking to myself too. Stay dedicated. Continue to go forward. Keep going. It doesn't stop. When you accomplish one thing, it don't stop there. Just keep going. Keep going. Keep going.